Calm down. Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on in. This is our live neighborhood chat. Yeah, I didn't put up a. I thank y'all for coming and visiting me today. I'm glad y'all were here. And I'm going to have to tell you all that I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And I will have my neighborhood.
I
Hey,
love
hey,
your intro.
hey.
Hi,
Nana T
everyone.
did that for me.
I love
Nana
your
T
intro.
did that for me. And I thought it was so cute.
I may have to
Hey,
ask her.
everyone.
I've started one, but I'm so busy I never finish it. I may
Oh,
have to ask
I could have
again.
never done it. I was just, and she asked me, she said, would you like for me to do you an intro? And I was like, would you please?
I'll have to
Um,
write her and ask her because I have so much in my schedule. It's just crazy.
oh, Josie, I don't know how you do what you do. So there that is. I
I love
mean,
it. I love
I
it.
have had my nurse practitioner come by today. My physical therapist come by today. I got approved for my new wheelchair.
Good.
So they're going to be building it and bringing it to me in a few weeks. And my legs are about this big around from my knees down. They look like just like they used to when I didn't
Oh
have
my
any.
gosh.
They said they're going to wrap them for about another 2 times. And then they're
Mm.
going to get me some special stockings and to keep it down. And it should be okay. I didn't even know I could have ankles again.
I wish I
So
could. Mine are like this.
but I couldn't believe it. Anyway, guys, we had a technical difficulty before the show started. So I'm trying to get myself together here. But for some reason Josie could hear me, but I couldn't hear Josie. So I said, well, let's go over to your channel. Same thing. She could hear me. I couldn't hear her. So I was like, it's me. It's me. I something that I've done, and Josie was walking me through it. Try this button, try that button. And I looked up and I saw F1 with the little microphone. I clicked on it and all of a sudden I could hear Josie. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, technical difficulties there. That's all.
Yeah, and I was just glad because when it comes to any little thing that goes out of whack when it comes to computers, now I'm a data entry person. I can enter anything you want me to, and I can work most data
Hmm.
entry programs, because of working out in the public. And I'm not afraid of that. But when it comes to the inside of the computer,
Yeah.
no, ma'am, I'm not. I'm not good with that.
I don't know
So I
why this.
hope you shared us out,
Hi, everyone.
Josie.
Hi,
You know
Mike.
for
I
tonight.
can't I can't hide from you, huh? I wasn't trying.
Uh, she can run, but she can't hide, huh?
It
Red
ought
looks
to be
so
an
good on you,
interesting
Josie.
day. What?
I said red looks so good on you. No wonder it's your favorite color.
It is. It always has been.
I
Like
guess
I
it's your
always have.
hair. I don't know what it is, but it looks really good on you. Claudette is here, of course. She's
I've
always got
actually,
support.
I've only had about 2 hours of sleep.
Josie, did something major happen?
I had an annoying email in the middle of the night, and I clue you in, guys. Never look at your phone when you get up to go to the bathroom. And when something gets in your mind, I could not go back to sleep. And so it's crazy. Anyway, I
Oh,
have my
Josie.
notes. I have my notes.
we're gonna do fine, Josie. You're gonna do fine. That's the way I was night before last. They had to take Lincoln to the emergency room. So I set up to 4:30 in the morning getting texts from Taylor letting me know how he was doing and everything. And last time I looked at my phone, it was 4:26. And James come in at 7:15. So that's all the sleep I got that day. This in loving memory of Crafty Songbird, that's Rebecca, that's her daughter.
Yeah.
Hey Rebecca, welcome in.
Let's
And
see.
there's Pam. Pam. Thank you, Pam, for coming in.
Oh, there's Pam, there's Claudette, Mike,
Pamela, Michael,
Pamela,
Pam,
and
Godzilla.
And I don't know who that is. Do you know?
I'm familiar with her. I'm familiar. I know who she is.
Oh,
And there's Mike. E-Waste Mike. I hope you're doing well.
and let's see. We have
My
a great
Copy.
subject today.
Yeah, we do have a good subject today. I'm hoping some more people will come in.
Yeah.
He said, I'll find you. He said, I was sending sweet nothings last night. That's why you couldn't sleep.
Oh, brother.
He is just full of it, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Let me share this out, Josie.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me share this out. Hold on. All right. We're going to get started. Share. I know there'll be people that'll come in.
Oh, yeah. And
That's
they,
really
can
good.
watch the replay.
Yep.
Like I said, both of us have done a lot of research. So it's not going to just be from our personal opinion.
Oh, no. I try not to make it like that because I want to learn myself. So I try to, some personal, some research, so I'll know. Just
Well,
let
Mike,
me
you
get
did
this.
send me the weird email.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you know who it was from?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just thought it was so weird that you didn't know and it was bothering you. That's what I thought.
It was a customer. I'll tell you backstage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
last month, it was on Josie's channel and I thought it went real well. We talked about discovering, I don't think Josie put it in these words, but discovering who we are. Hey Francine, welcome in.
Hi, Francine.
And trying to, this month is we're gonna start taking steps in becoming who we truly are, who we would like to be. Because as I was studying this week, Josie, I think everybody has that instinctive gut feeling of who they really want to be, but they're just afraid to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they know already instinctively the things that they enjoy and like about themselves, but meeting people and people hurting us and doing things to us and experiences of life that hit us, we turn into something that's not us. We're just.
And I think if somebody walked up to you and asked you, who are you? How would you answer? So we will be discussing that.
That is a very good question. And I would suggest, like I did on my live yesterday, because Josie and I both, we take notes. I mean, I have a book that I take notes. It's not just for you all in the chat. It's like I'm telling before. This is for me to learn also, and I love it. I love to learn new things, new topics, things that will challenge me, things that will make my life better. things that will make my health better. So as we talk about it tonight, about steps to begin to learn who we truly are if we don't know, and number two, how to express that. How to, I mean, you might not do it all in one day. Of course you're not. It's a process. So just begin to take baby steps or even start to crawl. I mean, you may not even be walking, you know? So, Josie, I'm going to let you give a little input on it, and then we will start from there.
Okay. When somebody asks you, who are you? What your personality, it's based on core components of your personality. Like it's based on skill, it's based on your personality, it's based on your identity, based on your beliefs, based on your hobbies, and again your skills. It's based on a lot of things. And what I found this subject so interesting that I put a lot of notes into my paper. That what I have, it's the way you see yourself and the things you think about. Your identity can be positive or negative and can change over time. So if you're negative at one time, you don't have to stay there. You can move over to the positive. Positive identity can be strong and a strong sense of motivation. If you get into the negative, if you choose to be lazy and unmotivated, you probably will not change anything in your life. And so that doesn't mean that, okay, you think positive and everything's going to fall in place, because that's not how it happens. That, as I always say, and I want it on my tombstone, she never gave up. Never.
And that will be a very fine thing to have there, because that is a true statement.
You never give up. I don't care how much you hurt. I don't care how much physically or mentally, you never give up. And on your beliefs, and I'm not going to, get into like religion, but we indicate how, because actually Angie and I think a lot alike on the religion. For an example, if someone says they believe in God, this could be their way of showing that they have a strong morals and values. And think about that. If you really believe, you do have strong, it doesn't make us perfect. We're all sinners. We all make mistakes. We make bad choices. But we have to learn. I'm, like Angie said, I'm still learning. I'm still learning about, and I actually like myself better today than I did even 10 or 15 years ago. And everyone knows.
See, that is amazing. And I'm so glad you said that, because I feel the same way about myself. But the thing about it is, I had to really look in the mirror and see who I really was, and say to myself, I don't want to be like this. I want to find the person that is deep down within me that I know doesn't really act the way that I've been acting. And I think I was projecting myself as far as the way I had been treated by people, being deceived and lied to, and felt like I was a secret my whole life, And I think by that being written on my slate, I become something that I wasn't supposed to become, because when you're born, and we talking about spirituality, when you're born, you can become anything you want to become, and then people start pouring things onto you, and you start absorbing them.
It's just like prejudice. Babies aren't born with, children aren't born with prejudice.
No, they are not.
They learn it from their parents or other adults.
And they learn to bully from adults. Children don't know how to bully. They learn that. But when I was studying and doing my studying through, finding out, who we truly are and how to begin to and look, a lot of people, and where I was reading, it says they pretend because they're afraid that if they show who they really are, they will not be liked and accepted. Well, that amazes me, and I don't know why, but as adults, we feel like that. It's not just children. Adults want to be accepted within a group, you know, and it's so amazing to me that you can have this group of women and somebody says to themselves, "Oh, I would like to be a part of that group." And then those group of women, some of them may say, "Oh no, she's not. No, we're not. She can't be a part of us." And this is adults we're talking about now, that are saying, "No, no." And so many people are afraid of that they won't be accepted, so they don't show who they really are. And
And
on the
you know
other
what?
hand, go ahead.
Women are worse than men.
Oh
I'll
yes,
have to
nasty.
say, women are more gossipy and more judgmental than men are.
I mean, nasty. Women are nasty to other women. I mean, just nasty. And I found this out since I've been on YouTube. I can share this. When I started, I said I was going to be authentic. And whoever come into my life and whoever come into my chat, that was who was supposed to be there. No matter how eccentric, no matter how different, nothing. That was who God was putting in my path. I just believe that. Hey, Deborah. Hey,
Hi,
Scooter.
Deborah. Hi, Scooter.
And I just believed that. And I didn't judge anyone. And when people started coming in my channel, I was authentic, who I was. And I said, if they stay, they stay. And if they don't, they don't. I didn't worry about being in a group of women that I thought that I had to prove that I could be a part of, you know? But a lot of times women want you to prove that you deserve to be a part of who they are,
Well, women
you know?
women have the jealousy thing, and women are jealous of even their spouse. There's one thing I can say I never was, even if when my husband was alive, and say we went to a social event and there was a woman that was dressed up gorgeous or something, and I'd say, "Honey, look at how beautiful she is." I never felt that jealousy because you know I knew our
Well,
relationship.
see, that is so amazing. I wish James was standing here right now because he and I were just talking about this. Um, you know how people put a lock on their phone and they'll put a
Mhm.
code if they're married and they don't want each other to go into their phones?
Yeah.
James and I have never. He has picked my phone up, I don't know how many times. We have never been jealous of each other in our relationship. I mean, we could go anywhere and people would just, "Oh, James is so good looking. He is so fine." And I say, I know. And out when we go to somewhere to a party or we go to a bank party and all that, I never was a jealous type person. And he's never been either. It's funny that you said that. But hey, Stephanie.
Hi,
But
Stephanie. Yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
pay to
I think
be jealous.
if we can learn, I'm sorry, I shouldn't interrupt. That
No, go
thought
ahead.
came into my mind, and I think if we learn who we really are, and it takes time. It doesn't. You don't do it in a day. Sometimes it takes years and years.
Hey,
Then
I see
we
you.
avoid the jealousness and the gossiping because when you know who you are, you're more secure.
Right. And when you wake up, I want to say this, and people may say, "Well, how do you start really but showing who you think you are?" Because I look back now when I was growing up and people would tell me that I liked certain things, you know? And I think back now and think, "Well, did I like that because they said I liked it, or do I like it because I really like it?" You know? I love you. And so don't let somebody project on you, oh, you like this, you love to do it, and you have to find out what you like. And if you don't like it, don't be ashamed of it. And if there's something you like that's weird of everybody else's, because see, I used to hide the fact that I wrote poetry. I didn't tell people for years that I wrote poetry because I was kind of like, this is weird. Nobody else in my family does this. And I'm not even going to say that I do this. So, and I love to write. And
wonderful that you have that talent.
But I always was really like, oh, and my sister and my family for years didn't know about it. And so I hid that for many years because I thought it was something weird because my family wasn't into it. But it was who I am. And when you wake up in the mornings, you should each day seek out things. And this is minute, but think about foods. I used to do this to my son, and I think I cannot believe I ever done him like this. But we would go to church meetings, and we would have food afterwards. You know how they do on the grounds?
Yeah.
And he would go to fix his plate, and he would go, Mama, what is this? And I would go, oh, Matt, it's so-and-so. You like it. Eat it. He would get it and eat it because I said he liked it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Angie, you should have never done that baby like that. He should have decided whether he wanted to eat it or not. And he became a chubby child. And now he's not. But I'm just thinking the things that parents put on their children, not knowing that they're might be doing something holding them back, You just have to be careful with your words.
Those same adults, it's a matter they want to control people, will go on and try to. I mean, I see it on social media. Every once in a while, you run across somebody who thinks they can control someone else.
Hey, Mr. Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. And they're actually like even telling people, oh, I wouldn't go there, and I don't want to get into drama, but I'm just using.
No, but I understand what you're saying, Josie. Somebody can put a thought into your mind, and you may feel like, well, if I go in there, and that person has suggested that I not, then that person knows this person, and this person, and if I go in there, then it's going to be reflected to everybody that I went in there, instead of standing on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
No.
Don't ever let anyone do that to you. You have a brain, a mind, and then that you were talking about like the poetry. One of the main components too is your personality is based on your hobbies. Hobbies are things that you do when you have free time or when your mind is not focused on something else. It's really important. It's part of who you are to have a hobby. That's another part. A lot of people, especially young people, we're all, I'm not young, but when I was young, you're so busy working and raising a family and in a career, you don't think about what do I do when I'm older? You need a hobby.
Well, see, my hobby was my children, and I told him that, and when they left, James said, no, you got to find something because you're going to lose it if you don't. He always hunted and fished and did all that. But me, I was everywhere my children were, So, and even growing up, I played ball, I played basketball, softball, things like that. But what I wanted to say is when you start trying to figure out who you are authentically, instead of, you hear your parents, when we go in here, you better act like that. When you go in this place, you better act like this. You better do this, and we tend to form, and there's nothing wrong with that to some extent because we have to learn morals and standards and beliefs. You have to be taught to be polite, say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, just be a decent person. So there's not everything's not wrong with that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to when it comes to you wanting to have that gut feeling go away and you want to try things that you've never tried before, and you say, I just want to stop pretending. I want to, I want to stop pretending who I've been for all these years. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, you can change to a different, like Josie said, she likes herself better now than she did
Oh, yeah.
years ago. And I do too. I like myself better now than I did when I was out in the public working, when I was 100 pounds lighter, when I wasn't in a wheelchair. I enjoy who I am now because I feel freer because I'm,
Freedom.
I'm who I am, you
You
know?
don't have to impress anyone. And that's one advantage of getting older or old. That's why a lot of old people, and let's face it, we say what's on our mind. Although I've always, and that's one thing that there are, and I realize there are a lot of people that don't like my personality because I always say, if you don't want to know an honest answer from me, don't ask me. Because I'm not going to deliberately say something to hurt you. But if you show me something and you say, well, what do you think of it? I'm going to tell you. I'm
And
not,
see, that is a very good quality to have. And see, if you would have known, hey, Joanne, if you would have known me 15 years ago, I would not be the person I am today. And some of you on this chat and Josie may think, "Ooh, no, I don't really prefer to be around her. I don't like the way she acts. I don't the way she talks." But because I have chosen to get up every day and say, which I'm a spiritual person, I'm a Christian, I'm not ashamed of that. And I pray, Lord, I want to become more like you. I'm a different person. You know, I want your qualities, your standards, your beliefs. I want to live that way. And, and I fail a lot. A lot of times I fail.
we
But
all
just so you
fail.
have a goal, a goal, some little something that you say, I'm going to show who I am to some little part of who I am today, the true
At,
me.
at, at the very end of this, I would like to ask everybody, and you don't have to respond, but I would like to ask everyone in the chat if they would like to put something in the chat if they know who they are.
Right.
I think,
And is there something that you think you might want to uh maybe in the future, the near future, express of something that you discovered about yourself that nobody knew, or you might, but like I was ashamed of my writings and I was embarrassed about them, but it's just the core of who I am. But on here it says, I wrote down, there's only one of us. There's only one of me. Nobody else has my DNA. Nobody else has my makeup. God only made one of me. I'm unique. I'm special. You are too. There was only one of you made. Even if it's twins, twins have some different about them. There's only one thing. It's you, that you are you. Nobody else is like you. And it's okay. I want to say this. It's okay to look up to somebody and admire them and want to take on some qualities that they may have as you mature. You say, oh, I want to be like her, or because I've done that in my lifetime. I've had women that were older than me that mentored me growing up, and I would think, oh, I want to be like her. And that's okay when you first start out discovering who you truly are. But try to not become that person and find out your other qualities. Don't just automatically turn into that person.
You don't want to be a clone of that person.
No,
I
like,
mean, if you would have known, most people
ahead.
don't believe this, but if you would have known me years ago, believe it or not, I was very quiet, and people could control me. And I learned, I had this fantasy thing in my mind when I was young that, well, if you're good to people, they're going to be good to you. And I learned through a lot of hard knocks. That's not true. That's not fact. And through a lot of hard knocks, I, over the years, learned to change my personality. And then I had a professional position at the hospital, and I had to talk to CEOs from different companies, and um, I had to learn and not be shy. I had to get over it, and my job was very important. Uh, so, we're all a work in progress. We have to learn.
And I would say, and Josie, I'm sure you would agree, or you can let me know how you feel about this, but don't ever be ashamed of who you are, where you come from, your education, your how much money you have in the world. Don't let anybody ever make you feel inferior for those things, because there's greater things in this world than those things. And when you find who you really are, a lot of times those things will fall into place. And we learn from where we come from. We learn from doing without and not having everything given to us, entitlement. We learn from that. So don't ever be ashamed of your appearance. You might not have you might not think you look the best as someone else, so you won't show your face on YouTube, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to show their face for different reasons. Some may not want to show it because they don't think their appearance is great. But what I want to say is, it's what's on the inside that matters, and not on the outside. Once people learn who you are on the inside, if you project hate and bitterness and you look the best of everybody in the room, I don't gravitate towards you from your outside. But if you are authentic, lovable, kind, joyful, that's who I radiate toward when I'm in a group of people, not the one that's real beautiful on the outside. Now, I'm not saying you can't be beautiful on the outside and be beautiful on the inside. That's not what I'm saying. You can. But I'm just letting you know, beauty is within. And I didn't believe it until I got older, out of my teens and 20s, that beauty is actually from the inside out.
Inside. And the Lord Jesus looks at the inside.
Right.
The outside, at the end of our life, the outside doesn't matter.
Claudette said, I believe I'm truly who I am, though, because of things that happen in my life with health and loss, that we don't live the way we would like to. It's not by choice. That's what we were talking about. And I don't know anybody in this chat that hadn't went through some tragedy.
Everyone, if you live long enough in this earth, you're going to lose loved ones. You're going to lose your health. You might lose a job. You're going to go through. I think
you might go through a divorce.
Yeah, our society thinks that everything should be great here. No, it's not. I've always believed with my religious beliefs, and that we're only here to learn, that this is a school.
Yes, I think this is a school also.
Yeah, it's not our forever home, but that's my belief. I'm not trying to push my belief on you. That I think when you kind of dissect yourself and you really look at your life and the things you like, the people you hang out with, and you become a stronger person. Don't ever let anyone put you down. Walk away. If somebody's putting you down, God didn't make junk. You remember that?
No, and we all have different appearances because of different parents, and we all look different on the outside. And for some reason, Josie, people focus more on the outside. It's like Pam said, as David said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God.
Yep.
He even knew us before we was born. I'm not trying to get religious, but what I'm saying is the way you appear and your appearance is exactly what God wanted you to look like. And to him,
Yep.
you are beautiful. So when you look in the mirror and you have flaws and things that you think because somebody else looks different than you, that may be the very thing that reaches somebody else for them to come into knowing who they are or who they want to be.
Yep.
So it can be used, you're not just put here to enjoy just what you like, you know, and it all about you and entitlement. It's about bringing others into knowing who they are and sharing your what you've learned with them. And that's what Josie and I are trying to do as far as facilitating this show, is to give you tools for you to get stronger, to know that you are somebody, you are worthy of being here. Okay.
You're special. Your life is special. Um, we do have choices. God gave us free will. We have choices. And I've said it a million times. I made a lot of bad choices in my life, but it made me a better person I am. It made me the person I am today. And hi, Robin and Madeline. Welcome. Um,
Hey, Sassy Mary.
but if somebody, tries to tell you you don't have any of these skills, if you can't reason with them, if you can't come to uh, a mutual agreement, just walk away. Don't
Yes,
let
and
ever let anyone put you down. And who you are is based on your lifestyle, your educational background. It's based on so many things. Um, it's a to me, it's a fascinating subject. Um, I was
Madeline said, I always had a very low self esteem. I've always felt ugly.
not ugly, Madeline. I don't know
No,
what you look
see,
like, but you're not ugly. Um,
um, I feel like, I had to go through a period when I contracted this autoimmune disease. Number one, gaining all this weight with steroids. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with the fact that I'm bound to a wheelchair now and that I'm never going to, well, not going to say I'm never going to, I am going to walk again one day, but it may not be here. But I had to go through that. I had to grieve for the old person that I was to move forward to the person that I am now, being bound to a wheelchair and being a lot heavier. Um, my body's a lot different than it was before just a lot of changes quickly, because sometimes as we age, it's kind of a slower process and we don't really pay attention to it till it just gets there. Well, mine came on quickly and I had to deal with it. But I woke up one morning and I just said, God, I'm still here. So that means I still have a purpose. So that's all that matters to me, is fulfilling the purpose you have. So no matter what I look like, if I'm accepted, I'm accepted. If I'm not, I'm not. And I just went with it like that.
well, I've always looked at, and I've said this before in my lives. Have you ever met somebody and your first impression was, oh, they're not really attractive, handsome, or pretty, but as you got to know them, that inner beauty came out. And I've
Oh,
seen people
yes.
and I thought, wow, he is nice looking, she is beautiful, but it was that
And most of the
inside
time,
that.
that person becomes a real good friend of yours when that happens, when you first meet them and it's like, and then you start getting to know them and it's like, I didn't really see this person like this before. And I know
Right.
exactly what you're talking about, Josie. I know.
It's happened to me several times. Um, I remember even when I was young and when I was in high school, I ended up, dating somebody I didn't think was really good looking, and all of a sudden that person appeared very handsome because they got to know him.
Right.
And, you know, and that I feel really strong about that. I think once you get
Hey,
to know
Ella.
them, hi Ella,
Welcome in,
welcome.
Ella. But I want to say even though we have choices, you know, and Josie and I believe, you know, we have free will, so we can choose things that and I know everybody does it. We shouldn't choose, and we do things to ourselves and to our body and to our mental health and to our emotions that causes us not to pay attention to our authenticity. You know, that's kind of like, it's like something is not wanting you to be authentic, you know? And in our Christian belief, we all know what that is. But I'm just saying there's a source out there that's saying, because if you become who you really are, you're going to be happier, joyful, peaceful, and you're going to do things that you've never done before. And that being does not want you to get to that authenticity. They want you to stay suppressed, depressed, and sad and lonely and low self-esteem, like it was that Madeline said.
Madeline. Yeah, Madeline.
Yeah. They don't want you to succeed. They want failure. But I'm telling you, take it day by day and learn something about yourself, no matter how small, every single day. You know, Pamela said, may you be proud of the work do, the person you are, the difference you make, be proud of yourself.
Proud of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I want to say this. There was a person on YouTube, and this person come on one day and was talking about she couldn't read or write. Oh, get out of here.
Would you remove you know who that is?
Yeah.
We're not talking about you.
All right, hold on. Come on, really?
This is an educational program. We're not talking about anybody in particular.
Oh, Josie, let me see. Hey, Kim, how are you?
That's an example right here of a waste of life. I'm sorry, but life is short, guys. Why waste it?
Oh,
Bullying somebody
it's so
else?
funny to me. I laugh on the inside because I don't owe that person anything. That is so funny. I don't even know. I don't even know that person.
You've never even been in their channel.
No, that is so funny. But I will be praying for her. Bless her heart.
Yep. Pray for her soul. Hi,
yes,
Kim.
I will.
But
that's a prime example of somebody not knowing who they are, and they don't want to be who they are, because I know the God I serve does not allow somebody to be that way, and that's who they authentically are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing to me when a person gets on a live stream, and I won't mention names, but when a person gets on live stream and condemns other people and brings out the drama and says other people are causing it, and that person is causing it by doing that in the first place.
Right.
You know,
I mean, we do have email. We do have ways of contacting people without, you know, getting on a live stream, saying things. But, you know, I did a video about, you know, and this is what is so sad. And I say this, not just the person that came in, but just in general. Yeah. It blows me away that somebody would want negative attention over positive attention just in order to be recognized. I mean, how sad of a life do you have to want people to, no matter if they're downing you or saying bad things about you or whatever, you're enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? How sad is that?
Yeah, like I said, it's a waste of time. And and there's a statement here in my research about who you are. It's all up to you. As you can see, in the end, who are you is up to you. So you don't have to limit yourself to your name, job, appearance, because that's not all that makes up of you. You have,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about a while ago.
yeah,
Um, when I worked at the bank, I don't think I'm the same person when I worked at the bank that I am now because I had such a image to uphold when I worked for the bank. We had so many, even outside us working, we couldn't do anything outside the bank that would harm the bank. You know what I'm saying? We had to act a certain way, do a certain thing.
hi,
You know,
Michael. Yeah, we that person has tried to come into mine and spoil my auctions too. That you know what? We'll pray for her soul because
oh yeah, she's not bothering me because I know everything she says is a lie, so I'm not worried about it.
yeah, yeah.
But thank you, Michael. Though what we have here is I'm gonna love you, and there's nothing you can do
Mhm.
about it. So if you think I'm gonna be angry, I'm not gonna be angry about it. I mean, you go and do you, and I'm gonna do me. But when you're trying to discover, I was reading it. It says, "Be careful though. Once you know something, you can't unknow it." So when you're searching for who you are and you're trying to find out why maybe you have been afraid to, number one, accept yourself, number two, step out and do different things. You ever tried to try something different, maybe thinking you would like it? I had never done crafts or anything. So I said, well, I might like crafts. So I got a diamond art and I did it and I enjoyed it. My grandmother made quilts. I wished I would have took that up. And I thought I was not a crafty person. But it wasn't that I'm not crafty because I can do it. It's just
Anyone can
that
do it.
I had never been exposed to whether I liked that or not. So have the chat ever thought about maybe I hadn't been exposed to things that I could try that I might think I don't like, you know?
And Steph says she raised soldiers, and I'm very proud of being a military mother. Yes, you should be very proud of that.
What
We
I
wouldn't
say and
have the
do
freedom.
and
We
usually
wouldn't have
does
the
reflect.
freedoms we have today without the veterans. Yep.
God gave us parents, even though mine, well, we won't get in that, but that may be another month that we talk about that.
Okay.
Josie and I can reflect on that a lot. He gives us parents. Hey, Leslie, I was thinking
Hi,
about you
Leslie.
today. I
It's so
miss
good to
you.
see you. Miss you.
Yeah, I miss you and love you. I also love diamond paint, and I just finished one today, and I'm starting on number 2. I posted on my page. Oh, that's nice. Hey, Robin. What I
Oh,
want to
I'll
say
say.
is,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
What
what I was
I'm
just
gonna use this for on YouTube. Let me just give an example of YouTube. When you're on YouTube, be your authentic self because people are going to judge you either way. Whether
yeah,
you are who you are or you're not, they're going to judge you either way. So the best thing is to come out of the gate being authentic. Just be who you are, and your people will come. There are all kind of different people on YouTube, and you'll
the
be
truth always
accepted by so
comes out.
many.
The truth always comes out. Somebody can talk totally negative about you, and a lot of people will believe all that negativity, but at the end, the truth will come out.
Um, you are so true, Josie, because when you are in a group of people and everybody, you're not really sure that people like you because somebody else likes you, or they like you because they like you. And one sure way to find that out is if you and another person have a disagreement, and you have so many people running over here to this person, and nobody's with you, then that means everybody was liking you because you were just a part of the group, not that they really did. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, it's not about being liked or disliked. It's about being who you are.
Hi, Suzanne. Well, one thing people don't know about me, yeah, I talk a lot and I'm opinionated. I totally admit it. And I believe in honesty and integrity. In fact, that's more worth more to me than selling in my auction. I,
I,
but
integrity
what
to me,
what they don't know
yeah,
about me, if a relationship goes bad, it's dead to me. I don't go around talking about it. It's gone. I go on with life. And that's how my personal life is too. Um, I have started over so many times. And when I see
I can't
people are
imagine, Josie. I can't imagine because I've started over a lot and I'm just 57 years old. And when I say started over, I mean with who I am. You know what I'm saying?
I've
Because
started over with marriages, with moving. I've lived in 4 different states. I went from a 3 bedroom new house to a small apartment. I've lost my daughter. I've lost, and I don't say this for sympathy. I'm just saying I can adapt. And I think in time, if you really accept who you are and be realistic, you can do change. And sometimes change is much better than the life you had before. But
okay, I have this on here. It says a workout, which I have to tell y'all, I have to be honest and upfront. I am not a self motivator when it comes to working out physically. Even
I'm
when I was
not,
in good health and was small,
yeah.
I had to have somebody with me if I wanted to be motivated to do the gym or go to the gym or whatever. But on here it says a workout means to continually work to bring something to completion or fruition. Fruition. How do you pronounce that? I cannot. Fruition. You know what I'm talking about. Come true.
Yeah. I
But
can't. I slaughter words. Everybody knows
yeah,
that.
I'm just like. So what I'm saying is, you're gonna have to work at it. You're gonna
Hmm.
have to work at becoming who you are. You know, and you're gonna have to strip yourself of the old person. And let me tell you something. Don't judge yourself when you go back to your old ways. I find myself, and I don't know if y'all, hey, crossover, hey, winning walk with Christina.
Welcome,
Um,
everyone.
welcome in, everyone. I find myself, and I don't know if you do this too, Josie, or anybody in the chat, but I find myself going back to doing things that I did in my, and I'm talking about like there's certain things that I eat, like growing up we didn't have a lot. Okay, we didn't. We weren't really really poor, but we didn't have a lot. Okay, which I never even recognized that we didn't have a lot. You know, until I got older. But and James came from even meager means than that. But I'll find myself going in the kitchen and I'll think, what do I want? What do I really want? I can't decide. And I'll say, I'm just going to fix me a cheese sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And I think out of everything I got in my kitchen, when I was younger, I only ate that because I had to. Why am I going back to that now when I can choose anything in this kitchen that I want to eat? But yet and still, I said, I think I'm just going to fix me a cheese sandwich.
That's an
You know?
example of what we learned from our parents and how we grew up. See, I was like you. I grew up in a very, very poor family. My
Hey,
dad had
Angel.
a fourth grade education. My mom only went to eighth. Let's see, yeah, eighth grade. And my dad was a farmer, cowboy. I grew up. We ate spaghetti 7 days a week. On Sunday, we got a roast and spaghetti. So,
Do you eat
my
spaghetti
background.
today? Will you
There
eat
was
spaghetti?
when I got married, my husband, he wanted me to cook spaghetti, and I did, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a hard time with it. I didn't want spaghetti for several years because, and at that time, you either ate what was on the table or you didn't eat. It's
And
not
see,
like the kids of today.
you know how there's snacks now, all kind of snacks, and we didn't know about going out to a restaurant and eating. We didn't know what that was like. We didn't know. And now every once in a while, we went to this little mom and pop place and got a hamburger, and that was special to us, and it was. But
I
we just
ate,
didn't do a lot of things. But I mean, it was a learning thing. I don't judge my parents for doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I wasn't brought up to have anything I wanted as a child, and what was put on the table, you ate or you went hungry.
yeah,
You know,
that part of my growing up, I liked because it made me strong. It made me able to endure what I had to in later in years because I wasn't pampered. I didn't have. I started working as a small little girl and I babysat to earn money when I was in high school. So
hey
I
Lena,
actually it made me a better person. So, hi,
that's what
Alina.
I think. Um, it said in high school we would snack. Hold on, we would snack on peanut butter sandwiches or with graham crackers.
Hmm?
Now, see, James, he tends to go to things like um his grandmother used to buy these cookies in this tin
Mhm.
can, and he'll come home with that tin can of cookies. Oh, grandma used to buy these. I used to love them. And he remembers that from his childhood, which there's any cookie in that store he could have bought. You know what I'm saying? But he chose that one. But that's his remembrance of his childhood, and it was a good memory, you know?
Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, our snack when I was a little kid was toast with jelly on it. But you know what? I still like toast with jelly.
And you just revert back to, like I said, I had so many things in my kitchen that I could have eaten. You know what I'm saying? That somebody walked in and said, "Why on earth are you eating a cheese sandwich?" But at the time, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Hey, Judy
But
May, welcome
what we,
in.
like I said, what we're trying to do, and we're going to learn along with you, is learn that you're a good person, no matter what. You have a
Because
reason.
God didn't make junk. God did
Don't you
not
didn't
make junk.
make them. Don't let
No matter
anybody
what
ever
you've
put
been
you
through,
down. Hi, Judy
no matter
May.
what you've been through,
Yeah, don't let anyone ever put you down. And um, it's hard when I know I've always been a tiny person. Anytime I've gained weight, and I have lymphedema legs. And if you know what, I have lymphedema in my legs. And I even told the doctor, I remember when I had beautiful legs, and they're not anymore. But you know what? I'm thankful I still have legs.
yeah,
And
your
some,
perception changes on everything when you have to go through something.
yeah, look at how many veterans don't have legs that lost them in battle. So I don't complain about that. Even when they hurt and they feel weird, I have to remind myself that at least I can still walk.
Um,
So,
I shared not too long ago about the problem I had with my pituitary gland.
mm,
For a long time, I would not share that. But you know what? I got to thinking maybe somebody else is going through the same thing and they're not able to deal with it or handle it. And it's not a fun thing because if anybody ever asks me if there's one thing that they come up to you and say, Angie, we'll take back one thing that you've had wrong with you, what would you want us to take away? But you got to be stuck with the rest of it. I would say that the pituitary problem. But
yeah,
I want to say this: it hasn't changed who I am authentically. who I am is intact. You know what I'm saying? Though I'm molding that person every day and fine tuning that person every day, the morals, the values, the beliefs and all that, it's there. It's there solid.
There's
And
a
that's why
just ask me channel. Wow, you'll have to tell
I
us a
don't know who
little
that
about that.
is.
You know who
Yeah.
that is?
Uh-uh. Oh,
Yeah.
welcome in. We just don't have any drama here. You're welcome to listen and
Yep.
be part of the chat. Just no drama, no trolling, no putting down on anyone. We will not put down on you. So
Okay.
just welcome in.
I like I said, one of the hardest things, and I've said it on our last chat, one of the hardest things for me to learn is forgiveness. That I finally, I would say this year conquered it.
And
And
see, isn't
and
it wonderful to be able to say that?
it's it's a freedom I never knew. It's a freedom that I don't stay angry anymore. I might explode and get it out, but I don't stay angry anymore. And I can maybe I won't allow maybe that person to be back in my life, but I could say hello to that person, and I just don't stay angry. And
What I would like for to happen as far as us doing this program each month, as each month we go through and we discuss different things, like this time was about how do we begin to start becoming who our authentic self is. Now, if you're there and you already think you're authentically who you are, you can fine tune it. Like I was saying, fine tune the places of getting back to, like Claudette said, she's going back to writing. And that's where she's wanted to get back to. She hadn't been able to do it for months. So now she's able to do it. Get back to something that you authentically like to do. But I would like for us each month when we come in here or the chat to tell us their progress, to give us their progress.
thank you, Suzanne. I try to make, especially my Saturday one, just in fact when it you've been with me from the beginning when I first started the channel, or not the channel, the Saturday auction. I said I understand the economy and how things might get rough, but as long as I was physically or mentally able, I would always do my Saturday one so people had a place to come in and laugh and have some fun.
Judy May
And
says, go ahead.
no, I'm done
Go
now
ahead,
with
Judy.
it. Go ahead, Drew.
It's hard to just up and forgive somebody, though. You have to pray about it, accept it, and learn to move on. Just my opinion. Forgiveness is a process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody you have to give is a process. You can begin by saying, okay, I forgive them. And then let's just use YouTube for instance. Then you see them in a chat and it's like, oh, oh no. And you just have all these feelings. Okay. But then you're saying to yourself, I'm going to forgive them. It could take days, weeks, years, months, whatever.
Yeah.
But you start the road to forgiveness, you know?
I've always said when we remain angry, most of the time that other person's went on with their life and they really don't give a darn. So our hatred only hurts us. And when you forgive somebody, also that doesn't mean you have to allow them back into your life, but you can get rid of the anger, pray for them. You can be civil and say hello. Even with family members, just because they're related doesn't mean they have to be in your life.
You can love people from a distance and you can forgive people, but never go back to enemy camp.
Yeah.
And later on, as these months go on, I'm sure we're going to be talking about all that. Judy May says, Rockin' Robin, I'm glad you asked me. I didn't want to just blur it out in the chat. I didn't know for sure what was going on, but she's in a room. They have her on a ventilator. they're taking it. Now, who are we talking about?
Well, yeah. Who are we? We
Who
must
are
have
we
missed
talking
something.
about? Who are we talking about, Judy May?
Yeah, because we'd like to pray for that person. I do
Yes,
have a
and
prayer
Josie
angel
has
group.
a angel
Prayer
prayer
angel
thing that
group.
she. Yes, can you share it, Judy May? And they're done around. She was in ICU overnight, and they take her off the bench. She probably go into. Oh, she's going into a regular room, so that's good news.
Yeah.
Judy, let us know who it is. Anyway, Susan said, I'm in the process of forgiving my sisters. It's lovely reconnecting with them. And the last show that you ladies did encouraged me. Be there?
I, you
That
and
blesses my heart. Oh, that
Suzanne
just
had
gave me
told, Suzanne
that gave
had
me
told me that,
chills.
and it made me feel like when we share ourselves and do this discussion, if we touch one person, it's all
Oh, that
worth
brought
all the
tears
work.
to my eyes.
Yeah, it's all worth the work, and um, that's why sometimes even my prayer angel group, there are some people. I have a lot of international people on there too, and sometimes they don't say anything, but then I think, I don't know, maybe that group is really helping them just because they're not able to, they don't feel free to comment.
Thank you for
So
sharing that, Susan.
Suzanne's a very
Um,
lovely lady. She really is.
it's hard to forgive, especially if they're treated you badly. I don't believe in giving blank checks to folks. If you ask for forgiveness, I'll forgive you, but I will not hold anger in my heart. That is it. Because, see, I've done a lot of studying on forgiveness because I've had to learn it over and over again. Forgiveness. And, if you don't learn it the first time, anything, you got to go back and you got to redo it. And I got tired of going back and trying to, and it's painful when you have to realize that you have to forgive someone that has hurt you so deeply. But it's so freeing and it's so wonderful to be able to love and pray for that person and know that they don't have control of you, that you are free to do whatever you want to do. They have their place, you have your place, and the forgiveness is for you, not for them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard. We're not saying it's easy. I mean, I'm going to be 84 next month, and it's taken me years because I was raised by a mother. My father, not so much, but my mother never forgave anyone, never in all, and she lived to be 98. And so I was raised with that anger in the household, and I've had to work really hard to change. It hasn't been easy. That's why don't ever give up. Don't ever, if you're not happy with yourself, take take it slow, but work on it.
And
You
if you
know
don't
the
really
area.
know what's going on, ask somebody else. Have you ever been through this? Have you ever had to deal with this? I mean, if you did, how did you handle it? Just don't be ashamed. Like I shared about the thing that I had wrong with my pituitary gland. I've shared a lot of things on my channel about things I've gone through emotionally and dealt with my family. But it's because I used to not be able to talk about it at all. But it's because I've forgiven and I can talk about it now. And I want other people to maybe use it to be able to forgive, you know?
uh,
Me
and,
too. Just ask me, but I found that I'm better when I deal with the pain and slowly move on. Yes.
well, you have to deal with it. I on my second channel, actually, even on my Josie's Place, when I first started, I did some videos on grieving, the 5 stages of grieving, and you can go through those 5 stages several times. Um,
Yes. But do
My
you agree
hardest,
with this, Josie? You're going to go through every one of them. You can't skip one
yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah, no. And sometimes you go through. The hardest when I watch people staying in denial. That's the one I have the hardest time because, and I won't go into it. When my daughter was diagnosed, the family all went into denial, and I actually felt like I had to handle it all myself. And she had muscular dystrophy. There was no cure, and she ended up dying from congestive heart failure. So I have a hard time, and I have to remind myself with my nursing background and going through this, I can't I can't get upset if somebody's in denial, but it's hard for me not to because it was hard in my life when people didn't back me and they weren't there for me. So of the 5 grieving stages, I hate the denial one. I'm a realist, and
I am
that
too.
I
Judy
want.
May,
I mean, I freely talk about my age, as everyone knows, and that I'm at the end of my life, and it's okay. I freely. Uh, you know what? It makes me enjoy every single day,
and I
even if
think,
my day is hectic.
oh, I know, not think. I shouldn't say think. I know when you set yourself free and stop pretending who you are or what you think people want you to be, your days are just spent so more. You're more happy. You enjoy things more. You realize how short life is and you need to really enjoy it. And you realize that if it's not going to matter tomorrow, next week, or next year, it's no big
Right.
deal. Just like
They,
whoever came in a while ago, I'm not concerned about that. I mean, it's not me. This person has a problem. I'm just saying, I'm going to go on. I'm going to sleep well tonight. I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. I'm going to love all you and I'm going to love that person and I'm going to pray for them and everything's going to be okay. So it's not
when
going to
when you
affect me.
when you come into my auctions and I say I love you and I appreciate you, I mean it. Because if you know anything about me, and I'll admit I can be blunt. I call it like it is because I want you
But
to really
Josie,
know
I
me.
feel like if I met you in person and you and I met in real time, in real life, I've seen you on YouTube for a while. And I know you say what you want to, and you mean what you say. But I know
I'm
that I would
I'm the
feel the
same person. I'm the same
yes,
person. You
I
met me
know
in
I would
person.
feel the authenticity that you have, and the warmth and kindness and the love that you have in your heart. That you are an authentic person is what I'm trying to say. Um,
But you
so
see,
no
it's
matter
what
what you say on, like if you're trying to correct someone on a video that something's happened, sometimes things need to be said, and they need to be said in a certain way. And you can say anything you want to say. It's just how you say it.
mhm,
So therefore, but once you say it, it's over. And that's the way I am. You say your
I,
side, I'm going to say my side, it's over.
and if I
Madeline
make a
said,
mistake, I have no problem apologizing because I don't
oh, I don't
pretend
need,
I'm not this
I am
perfect
not,
person.
I'm not too proud to apologize. Madeline said,
No,
my middle brother did the most unthinkable thing to me. He passed away about 2 years ago. I had lost the memory of it for years. I forgave him when the memories came back. Oh, Madeline, bless your heart. That is, I'm so glad that you got there, that you got to
and,
the point where you
and,
forgave him.
and Angel, it's sad when somebody, if you have a bigger body, or it's awful when people criticize or are mean. Um, and like I said at the beginning, God didn't make junk. Um, the inside is what counts. I mean,
Hey, Nora.
I look at, I'll use for an example, and I probably shouldn't say this, but look at Hollywood. how many, you know, glamorous people you would see. Some of them are not so nice.
No.
If you have a lot of money, you can have facelifts and whatever. That doesn't mean their insides are beautiful. They,
Just ask me, you being that way, doesn't mean you're a bad person. I mean, you make choices. We all make choices.
yeah,
Um, you're not a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes, so you don't have to worry about that. Which I know if you're brought up in a situation, it can be ingrained in you that you are a mistake, but you're not. And you have to keep telling yourself, you're not. Nora, how
and
are you?
good to see you, Nora. It was funny, and I'll mention this, and I'm not going to mention names, but the email I was talking about, this person brought up, and it was a buyer, by the way, that brought up a comment that I made, and you're a Christian? And why do people always throw that up?
And see, my response, because I know people use that they think it's like a dab. I want to say, is that as good as you got? Is
Yeah,
that didn't hurt? Because I know what it means to be a Christian. I know what I am. So by you saying, "Oh, you're supposed to be a Christian," obviously you don't know what it means
you
to be
don't,
a Christian,
no
or
one's perfect.
you wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Christians don't profess to be perfect. We can't be perfect. We're never going to get there until we cross over. So I don't strive. Well, I do strive to be better at what I am, but I know perfection is not going to happen.
And I'm kind of dropping the word Christian in my life. I what I say to a lot of people, I follow Jesus because
Yes.
religion is man-made.
Yes.
I follow Jesus. Jesus didn't have any religion. He didn't belong to a
Right.
church.
Right.
And when you say
And
religion, that means a church.
yes, and that's
So
man-made,
that's
and
man-made.
that's man-led and man-made up and all that. So when I go to the
Right.
hospital, and they'll
Yeah.
say, "What's your religion?" I say Christianity. I don't say I'm a Baptist, I'm a Methodist, I'm a
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
I'm a that.
Those are
I
all
don't even
man-made.
give that.
But
But anyway,
whatever it is, learn from this. Think about your hobbies, your lifestyle, your education, what you want to do. And I don't care how old you are, as old as I am. Well, I might just say this. My son, I told my son about a year ago, they were talking about bucket lists. And I said, Clint, I have a bucket list. And he looked at me like, oh, what's mom going to say now?
oh
And
gosh, what is it?
I said, heaven, that's my bucket list.
Oh no,
And
that's a good one. I've never heard that.
and you could just see the smile on his face because he's a very good Christian. And I said, yeah. I said, I've done a lot in my life. Um, some good, some not so good, but I've enjoyed life. And I don't, I don't want to travel the world. I hate to fly, by the way. And I've flown a lot, but I hate it. Um,
Oh, you're gonna do enough of that and then afterwards, so you don't have to worry about flying here.
yeah,
You're gonna be doing
but
all that, girl. You're gonna be going all over
yeah,
the place.
but
But
just
I
be
feel like
yourself.
that. Yes. And next month when we come, it'll be on Josie's channel. It's gonna be in March. Can you believe it's March?
I
And
know. Wow.
I don't know exactly what date. It's the second Thursday. Let me look up the date real quick.
Yeah, let's look at the calendar.
But
And by the way, if anyone wants to put, you don't have to make it long, but just in the comment section, tell us, do you know who you are? I mean, who are you?
and do you think there's something you will try in this next month or so that you can share that you might step out and really, do something different?
because you know, if anyone knows me, I keep learning. That's I think what keeps my mind going. I love learning computer programs. I love challenging myself. And
It's
you don't
the
have to have a lot
13th
of
of
hmm?
it's the
There,
13th of March.
okay, that sounds good.
Um,
That sounds
let us know next month, or even like whoever did you say it was Susan had shared that with you about her sisters? If you want to email either Josie or myself about things
yeah.
that you have questions about what we shared, if there was something you disagree with, we can handle it. Just send us
Sure.
an email about it. We're not going to be all drama. We're just going to try to explain why we may have thought that. And we're an open book to the point of we're not going to scream and holler and
We're not
act like
going
a
to judge you. We're not going to
no,
judge you. You
no.
know.
We're not going to
And
judge you.
I have found that in some of the discussion, and I admit too, I talk a lot. I talk too much sometimes. That
No, you don't.
I've learned things about people that it really warms my heart because I thought, wow, I know why they are the way they are. They went through a lot of different things in their life, and it gives us a better. We're not just judging because we're all guilty sometimes. You meet somebody and you've got them all figured out. You don't really know them,
Right.
and you don't
And you
have to
don't know the
reveal
life they
everything.
lived. You just see them a few minutes either in the chat or on the panel. You don't know the extent of what all they've been through. The winning walk with Christina says, um, I'm considering taking a marketing course. Oh, that'll be good. Claudette said, I do a lot of research and we can never learn enough. It's so exciting to learn new things. Yes. And Susan said, I'm looking for an apartment for my boss and I'm thinking about moving in with him.
That Susan,
Don't
yeah, she is.
don't keep yourself from having someone love you. You know what I'm saying, Susan? If someone wants to love you, allow them to love you. And if you want to love them, love them. That's
Yep,
what we have is love. That's the thing that keeps the world rolling.
and
Love always wins. Always.
and just have that tender heart. You'll find out right away if somebody is genuine and real. Keep your ears open, and like even Angie has said, there's some things in your life that maybe you shouldn't expose on social media because you don't always know if everyone is genuine and is everyone good. And
Right. You
what I
make sure
mean,
you know. Go
yeah,
ahead, Jess.
make, um, because sometimes people who, how should I say, they don't have good intentions. They can hide that. They're really good actors.
Oh
They
yeah,
can
there's some
fool
good
you.
actors out there. Yes.
There's some, yeah, fantastic ones. So just be careful. But be yourself. Don't ever let anyone control you. Be
And
yourself.
start out knowing that you are worthy and you are something special and you need to start treating yourself better than maybe you have been. Look in
Yeah.
the mirror and when you're brushing your hair, just say, "Girl, you are beautiful." I mean, you are loved. I mean, just start. I talk to myself all the time. I know y'all probably think that's crazy, but
No,
I
I
talk.
think
I'm
everyone
here by
does.
myself so much, but I hadn't started answering myself yet. So they say that's pretty good. But anyway,
And
we've
our,
enjoyed it tonight, and we hope y'all have gotten something out of all this that we've covered. And I have loved y'all being here. Y'all know I love y'all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. So next month it'll be on Josie's. It's gonna be the 13th of March. Of course, she'll have the thumbnail up a lot earlier than I did. So I'm still learning about thumbnails.
Hey,
Uh,
your screen looks beautiful. She's learning and she's doing a
yeah,
fantastic job.
and I'm doing little short videos and stuff. So I'm like, see, I'm trying new things. But anyway, guys, we love y'all, and we'll see y'all next month. Well,
Yeah.
I know we'll see each other in auctions and chats and all that. And my
Yep.
emails in my about page, if y'all want to send me emails or whatever y'all want to do, I'll be looking forward to uh, seeing what happens this next month of us discovering more about who we really are, because that's what we're doing. And you'll find more blessings to come to you when you start being authentic and
Yes,
you
you
stop
will.
pretending. All right,
And you'll
guys.
be,
Go ahead, Josie. Go
I
ahead.
was just saying, once you know who you are, you're not going to allow the drama on social media to linger and disturb your life. You're going to let it
Right,
go because
right.
you're going to know that you're special and unique.
All right. Well, I think Josie summed it up in that. Love you guys.
Bye, everyone. God bless you.
Bye.